Welcome back everyone to Coin Treasure Hunt, the channel where we explore the fascinating world of coins, their history, their hidden secrets, and the incredible values they can hold. If you love learning about coin collecting, rare finds, and the hidden treasures you can discover in your own pocket change, then you are in the right place. Make sure to subscribe to Coin Treasure Hunt and tap the notification bell so you never miss an episode of our journey through the amazing history of coins. Today we are taking a closer look at one of the most interesting modern coins, the 1985 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln Memorial Penny. It's a small coin with a big story, from its historic design to its metal composition, and even to the rare error coins that can be worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. So get ready, because by the end of this video you might start checking every penny you come across. Let's begin with a little history. The Lincoln 1-cent coin was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first United States coin to feature the portrait of a real person rather than a symbol of liberty. Abraham Lincoln was chosen for his leadership during the Civil War and his role in ending slavery. From 1909 to 1958, the back of the coin showed 2 wheat stalks and was called the wheat penny. In 1959, to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This design by Frank Gasparo remained on the penny until 2008. The 1985 penny belongs to this Lincoln Memorial series, which has become one of the most iconic designs in U.S. coinage history. Now let's look at the design details of the 1985 penny. On the obverse or front side we see the famous right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" across the top, "Liberty" on the left side, and the date 1985 on the right. Below the date you might see a small mint mark which shows where the coin was made. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial building with the words "United States of America" at the top, 1 cent at the bottom, and the motto "E Pluribus Unum," which means out of many one, just above the memorial. The 1985 penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint have no mint mark. Those made in Denver have a small D mint mark under the date, and the San Francisco Mint coins with an S mint mark were produced as proof coins intended for collectors rather than general circulation. Now let's talk about composition. The 1985 penny is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating. It contains 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This change began in 1982 when the U.S. Mint switched from solid copper coins to copper-plated zinc coins because the price of copper had risen so high that the metal value of the penny exceeded its face value. The 1985 penny therefore belongs to the modern generation of lightweight zinc-based coins weighing just 2.5 grams compared to the older 3.1 gram solid copper pennies. In terms of mintage, the 1985 penny was produced in very large numbers. The Philadelphia Mint struck about 5.6 billion coins, while the Denver Mint made over 5.2 billion. The San Francisco Mint produced around 3.3 million proof coins. Altogether, more than 10 billion pennies were minted in 1985, making it one of the most heavily produced coins in U.S. history. Even though billions were made, some 1985 pennies can be worth much more than face value depending on condition and rarity. A regular 1985 penny that has been used in circulation is worth 1 cent. But if you find a coin in uncirculated or mint state condition with a bright red luster and no scratches, it can be worth much more to collectors. A 1985 penny in mint state 65 red condition is typically worth between $5 and $15. A high-grade coin in mint state 67 red can bring $50 to $150, and the rarest examples in mint state 68 red have sold for over $400 at auction. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are also sought after. A 1985 S-proof penny in PR 69 deep cameo condition can sell for around $10 to $25, and a perfect PR 70 deep cameo example can be worth up to $100 or more. But the most exciting 1985 pennies are the ones with minting errors. These are the coins that can transform a single cent into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some of the most valuable errors include double die strikes, off center strikes, and die cracks. A double die error occurs when the coin's design is imprinted twice at slightly different angles, creating a doubling effect on the letters or numbers. A 1985 penny with a visible double die obverse can be worth between $50 and $300 depending on the clarity and condition. Off-center strike errors where part of the design is missing because the blank planchet was not centered properly can be worth from $100 to over $500. There are also rare cases where 1985 pennies were struck on defective or foreign planchets, which can be worth several $1,000s to serious collectors. Another point of interest for collectors is that the zinc-based pennies of the 1980s are prone to corrosion or small bubbles under the copper coating. Finding a 1985 penny in perfect condition without these marks is much harder than it sounds, and that rarity makes high-grade examples more valuable. Now let's talk about circulation. Since billions of 1985 pennies were minted, they are still commonly found in everyday change across the United States. They are lightweight, durable, and one of the most recognizable coins in American currency. However, after almost 4 decades, most circulated 1985 pennies have lost their original shine. Those few that remain bright red and unmarked are highly desirable for collectors and grading companies. Another interesting fact is that the cost of producing a penny is now higher than its face value. It currently costs more than 2 cents to make 1 penny due to the cost of metal and manufacturing. This has led to ongoing debates about whether the penny should continue to be produced. But for collectors and historians, the penny remains an important symbol of America's past and a key part of numismatic history. So let's summarize what we have learned. The 1985 1-cent coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial series. It was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco and made mostly of zinc with a thin layer of copper. Over 10 billion were made, but high-grade and error examples can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to several thousand. The design features Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, continuing the legacy that began in 1909. Even though it may seem like a common coin, every 1985 penny has a story to tell. It represents a time of change in American coin production, and it holds the potential for rare and valuable finds. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's always worth checking your coins carefully because one small detail could mean a big reward. Thank you for watching today's episode of Coin Treasure Hunt. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the history, design, and value of the 1985 1-cent coin. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another treasure hunting adventure. Tell us in the comments if you have any 1985 pennies in your collection, or if you have ever found an error coin. We love hearing your stories and sharing in the excitement of discovery. Remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes that story can be worth far more than its face value. This is Coin Treasure Hunt signing off. Keep searching your change, stay curious, and happy collecting.